Hello and welcome to the Solo Legion Show. My name is Ryan C. Banks. I am the owner of Prolific.Entertainment and the creator of a new team of superheroes called Solo Legion. I want to thank all of you who have watched the previous videos, sent in comments, and subscribed to our channel. We're slowly growing and I truly appreciate everyone sticking with us as we've had a few technical issues and some delays. I hope you will continue to support the Solo Legion channel as we add comic book and video game production updates, question and answer videos, live streams, panel discussions, and interviews with special guests. I also want to remind you that the Prolific Entertainment online store will be open within the next 2 weeks. The Be a Hero t-shirts, caps, and other merchandise remind us to all be heroes every single day in how we think, how we live, and how we treat each other. Be a Hero products as well as Solo Legion products will soon be available in the new Prolific Entertainment store. Sales proceeds from both the Be a Hero merchandise and the Solo Legion merchandise will help support the development of Solo Legion comics, animation, and the video game while promoting a positive message. So when I started this channel, my goal was to have the first 10 videos lay the foundation for the type of content that the audience could expect from the channel. This is why the first 10 videos have established why I created Solo Legion, what it means to be a hero, what it means to be a villain, and have offered a brief introduction of each member of Solo Legion. I initially created 20 members of Solo Legion to be the core group that would launch the franchise. In the previous 3 videos, I introduced you to the first 15 members of Solo Legion. In today's video, which is the 10th video on our channel, I will introduce you to the last 5 members of Solo Legion. Silver Knight was recruited to join Solo Legion because of his ability to split into 10 versions of himself and his skill in fighting using technologically advanced medieval knight weapons. Silver Knight's civilian name is Kevin Lewis. He is a professional baseball player. When Kevin is developing in his mother's womb, his father is in the process of developing a machine that harnesses special energy from silver metal. When his new silver laser beam is perfected, his father brings his wife to the laboratory, and without knowing that she is pregnant with Kevin, he accidentally exposes her stomach to the silver laser beam. The beam affects Kevin's development, giving him the ability to multiply himself into up to 10 versions of himself. As he grows up, he learns through various life-threatening experiences that he has the power to multiply himself to defend himself, but his mother teaches him the value of controlling his emotions and his abilities. His love and skill for baseball lead him to become a professional baseball player. One day he is at a bank filming a commercial when a villain robs the bank using his army of robot medieval knights. After this incident, Kevin knows that he will have to use his silver powers to fight crime. Because of his lifelong love of ancient warfare and weapons, he develops ancient weapons into high-tech silver weapons, creates a special silver armor, and becomes the hero called Silver Knight. Typhoon was recruited to join Solo Legion because of his ability to fly, vaporize himself, and manufacture powerful winds that he uses as weapons. Typhoon's civilian name is Blake Stevens. He is an investment banker. He has a fairly uneventful childhood. He goes to college and obtains a degree in finance. He becomes an investor for wealthy people and eventually owns his own investment firm in downtown Dallas at a fairly young age. One day, he decides to take a tourist trip over the Bermuda Triangle. All is well until they turn around and head back to shore, when a strange, powerful storm arises seemingly out of nowhere. The plane is ripped apart piece by piece as the passengers are sucked out of the plane and into the swirling clouds. Blake is immediately engulfed by a dense fog. As he takes one last gasp for air, there is a clap of thunder that creates a wave of static electricity in the fog. This causes the fog to bond with his body and be completely absorbed, disappearing into his mouth, ears, nose, eyes, and pores. As the fog dissipates, Blake is left hovering over the ocean of plane debris and dead bodies. He discovers that one woman has survived and flies down to save her. They make it back to shore, however, Blake is traumatized by the event. Blake is unable to forget the images of the other passengers who died in the crash. He knows that he was spared and given special powers to use for good. He develops his abilities to manufacture and manipulate powerful winds, designs his turquoise and royal blue costume, his exploding shrapnel, and high-tech cape, then becomes the hero named Typhoon. Ultimate Acrobat was recruited to join Solo Legion because of his extreme athletic ability, his acrobatics, and his unique accuracy when throwing his weapons. Ultimate Acrobat's civilian name is Tony Branch. He is a professional football player. Tony Branch is born with a condition that causes his body to produce and maintain high levels of creatine and adrenaline, as well as excess joint fluids that give him extreme speed, reflexes, muscle twitch, flexibility, and unlimited stamina. He is also born with an enhanced brain that converts excess brain electricity into an energy force that is distributed throughout his body. This unique energy can condense the atmosphere around him, allowing him to levitate, instantly freeze in any position, and create invisible platforms of condensed energy that he can use to leap upward or change direction in mid-air. Growing up poor, Tony believes that the only way to lift his family out of poverty is to use his extreme athletic abilities to play professional football. He becomes rich from his professional football contract plus many product endorsements, and he regularly donates his time and money to charity events. In spite of his good deeds, Tony often feels guilty that he is only using his extreme athletic abilities to get richer. He watches the news, sees crimes committed, and starts to imagine himself as a hero saving the day using his acrobatic skills. He creates the orange and black costume and begins secretly testing his athletic limits while combining the use of his new array of weapons. His first rescue as a hero soon comes when his sister is kidnapped and he saves her life. The thought of almost losing his sister becomes his driving force to fight crime, so he becomes the hero named Ultimate Acrobat. Virtue was recruited to join Solo Legion because of her ability to pass her body's molecules and the molecules of others through most material elements such as wood, stone, and metals. Virtue's civilian name is Summer Lee. She is a high school principal. As a child, her grandmother always tells her to control her emotions and never lose her feminine virtue because it is the key to a woman's true strength and power. After graduating college with degrees in education and business, she accepts a teaching position at a struggling high school in a bad part of town. She helps turn the school around and becomes the principal of the school when several years into her career, the principal suddenly announces his retirement and she is nominated to take his place. One day there is a bomb threat and the school is evacuated. Summer goes back into the school and saves a missing student from being blown up by diffusing the liquid bomb mixture using activated charcoal powder. While in the process of experimenting to perfect a new, highly effective charcoal powder that can be used by all schools for chemical bomb diffusing, an accident occurs and Summer receives the ability to pass her body's molecules through solid materials. When gang violence threatens students at her school, she knows that she must use her superhuman abilities to fight back. She creates her special weapons and costume, names herself in honor of her grandmother, and becomes the hero named Virtue. Voltage was recruited to join Solo Legion because of her ability to produce high voltages of electricity from her body and use electricity as a weapon. Voltage's civilian name is Susan Dawn. She is a professional model. She is born to poor parents in a trailer park. One night, a fierce tornado heads toward their home. Her father rushes ahead to open the door to the storm shelter. As her mother is running to the storm shelter with Susan in her arms, she is struck in the back by a bolt of lightning. The lightning is filtered through her mother's body in such a way that when it hits Susan, its properties are transferred into Susan, giving her the abilities of electrical energy absorption, production, and manipulation. Her father rushes to save her as her mother collapses dead. With Susan in his arms, her father reaches the storm shelter and barely locks the door behind them before the storm fiercely passes overhead. Susan misses her mother, but with the support of her father, she grows up to become a world-famous model and fashion designer. One day while shopping in the mall, she prevents a purse snatcher from getting away by sending a current of electricity down the escalator and shocking him. Susan realizes for the first time the rewarding feeling of being a hero and decides to become a crime fighter. She studies electricity, tests her powers, develops her yellow and black outfit and weapons, then becomes the hero named Voltage. This episode concludes the introduction to each member of Solo Legion. I hope you've enjoyed the brief descriptions and backstories for each member of the team. At some point in the future, I will be doing a series of videos that will each focus on one specific member of Solo Legion. Those videos will feature the extended versions of each hero's backstories, the science that I researched to create their powers, the inspirations for both their hero and civilian names, as well as many little details that were part of the creation process for each hero. I often get asked how I created each hero, so I believe that videos breaking down the creation process for each hero individually will help inspire those of you who want to create your own individual hero or a team of superheroes. The most important thing that I want you to remember is that I created the heroes of Solo Legion to be an inspiration to everyone. I believe that the fictitious heroes can effectively be used as metaphors that represent each of us. I believe that by telling entertaining stories of heroism, by reflecting heroic principles in the dialogue of the characters, and by showing how they react to scenarios that are similar to the scenarios that we sometimes face in real life, I'm able to demonstrate the heroic mentality that we should all maintain when overcoming challenges, when facing life-threatening danger, and when interacting with each other on a daily basis. Thank you again for watching, listening, and subscribing as we remind each other that the world is a much better place when we all remember to be a hero.